morning. My name is Niki, and I'm with Yoga Meets Therapy and Berkshire Yoga Dance and Fitness. And today we're going to do a gentle Vinyasa. So before we even get started, gather any props that you might want, any pillows, any towels, any books to use as blocks, things like that. One of my favorite props that I have at home that I don't get in the studio too often is these big exercise balls. They work really great to you can kind of roll it from side to side and use it for support on your hands and things like that if you need it. So, well, let's get started. So we'll have everybody just start in a seated posture, bringing the eyes to a close or taking a soft gaze towards the floor. And take a few moments to just let yourself land on your mat. Start to transition from wherever you were and let yourself just be where you are. Just sitting on your mat. And start to bring the focus into the breath. Just noticing the breath. Notice how deep or shallow it is. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And let it fall out the mouth. And take another deep breath in. Let it fall out. Bring the hands to the body. Maybe they land on the chest, the belly, the thighs, or anywhere else that feels right for you in this moment. And just notice that connection with self. Notice any sensations that come along with that connection. And take another deep breath in through the nose. And let it fall out the mouth. Notice if there's any way that you would like to be with yourself or your practice this morning. When you're ready, finding your way into your first downward facing dog. So maybe starting on hands and knees and taking a little movement there if your spine or any other part of your body might need a little extra attention before just jumping into your downward dog. And let the head be nice and heavy here. See if you can let the shoulders slide away from the ears, just lengthening the neck a little bit. And root down into the heels, so really activating those legs. And breathe. At the bottom of an exhale, You can walk, step, or hop the feet to the hands, coming to a standing forward fold. And drop the head, drop the neck. And take any movement here if you want it. Any other variations with arms or with legs if the knees want to be bent, or if you want to pull yourself in nice and deep. Feel free to just take some time right now and warm your body up. Just kind of explore what's there this morning. Start to explore what it is that your body wants or needs in order to move into a full practice. Wherever you are, release the hands towards the floor and start to bend the knees a little bit so you can root the hands into the floor. Step the right foot back nice and deep, coming into a high lunge with the legs, but keep the hands on the floor. Just take some time opening that back hip. Feel free to drop the back knee if you'd like. And play a little bit here with kind of scissoring the legs together. So it's almost like you're going to try to slide the mat together or slide your feet towards each other. So activating through the whole pelvic floor as you do that. But again, just knowing that this is your class, your practice. So if you choose to be a little more passive, then let yourself be a little bit more passive. I'm going to drop that back knee. And as you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale the hands to the floor and step back to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Let the breath fall out. At the bottom of your exhale, hop, step, or walk the feet to the hands. Standing forward fold. Drop the head, drop the neck. And just let the arms kind of do what feels natural. You can rest on blocks if you need, or books. If you need some extra space on the floor to hold yourself up. Or you can hug them around, wrap them around the lower legs. Let's bring the gaze to the feet and just check in with the feet. We're going to make sure the feet are parallel. Big toes can touch or the feet can stay directly underneath the hips. Bend deeply through the knees and then inhale, reach up to your awkward chair, Utkatasana. See if you can tuck that tailbone. Take that lower backward bend out of it. And if you need to lower the arms to lessen the strain on the neck or the back, feel free to do that. Take one more breath. Exhale, come to stand, hands to heart center. Bring the eyes to a close. And just take a couple breaths. As you inhale, reach up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And bending the knees so you can root the hands back into the floor. Step the left foot deeply back for those high lunge legs. Hands can be on the floor, or you can prop them with books or blocks or anything that works for you. And then see if you can kind of, again, slide the back foot and the front foot towards each other, really engaging the legs, almost like you're going to kind of bring the center of the mat up, sliding it together. Let's drop that back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take a breath. Exhale the hands to the floor, step back, downward dog. Inhale, roll yourself forward to a plank. Exhale, option to drop the knees or full chaturanga. Inhale, backward bend of your choice. Low cobra, high cobra. Tuck the toes and exhale, downward facing dog. At any point in a downward dog, you need to come into a child's pose. Let yourself come into a child's pose. The bottom of your exhale, hop, step, or walk the feet to the hands, forward fold. Nice and deep. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's check in with the feet, bring them parallel. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Reach up, awkward chair. Exhale, come to stand, hands to heart center. Close the eyes. Take a nice deep, falling out breath. And just notice where you are right now. Notice the relationship that you have with your body in this moment. Notice any sensations. Heart pounding, breath. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's root the hands into the floor, so bend the knees to do that. Step back to your plank. As you exhale, option to chaturanga or just drop the knees. Inhale, backward bend. And exhale, downward dog. And step the right foot forward to the hands. Bring that back heel down. Inhale, reach up to warrior one. Trying to square the hips towards the front of the mat so that left hip comes forward, right hip comes back. Find some stability in your lower core, lower back, right in that hip pelvic area, and then see if you can kind of lift the heart from there. Let's bring the hands to the hips. Option to interlace the fingers behind the back. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach the heart forward for Parsvottanasana. Hands can come down to the floor, or to blocks or books. Option to take this posture wherever you want to go. You can stay right here for a few more breaths, or you can bend the knee, come into a standing balance. And any other variations that there might be. If you came into that standing balance, reach that top foot back down to the floor. Everybody inhale, reach the arms back up, bending that front knee. Exhale the hands to the floor. Step back, downward dog. Stay with your breath. Step the left foot forward. Bring that right heel down. Inhale, reach up, warrior one. Soften the shoulders. Try to square the hips towards the front of the mat and find stability, again, right here in those hips. So change your stance if you need to, so you can kind of feel grounded, however that works for you. Bring that belly in and up, lift the heart. Let's bring the hands to the hips. Again, option to interlace the fingers behind the back. If you want that little extra chest opener. Straighten that front leg. And then reach the heart forward. Parsvottanasana. Strong legs. So try not to lock in that front knee. It kind of means, see if you can put a teeny tiny micro bend in that front knee if you need to. Option to stay here or just change arm variation. Or start to bend that front knee and lift up into a standing balance. Reach that right leg up for your warrior three. Release that top foot back down behind you, bending through that front knee for everybody. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. I'm going to take one more gentle flow. At the bottom of your exhale, hop, step, or walk the feet to the hands. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the head, drop the neck. Making sure the feet are parallel. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana, awkward chair. Exhale, come to stand, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Root the hands. Step back to a plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, or just drop the knees. Inhale, backward bend. Exhale, downward dog. Let's come to hands and knees. Bring the knees nice and wide, and then drop the hips back towards the feet for a really wide-legged child's pose. And just breathe. Really bring that attention, awareness, focus to the breath. Just notice it a little bit more. What does it feel like to breathe? Start to find your way back up and make your way to a seat. And we're going to come into a wide straddle. So feel free to adjust yourself on your mat if you need to, if you want to, keep your heels on your mat. And also feel free to sit up on something. You can fold up a towel to prop your sits bones, or even just a pillow, small pillow. And bringing the toes up towards the body so that the legs are engaged, start to reach the heart forward. Just finding your way into a forward fold here. We'll stay here for a few breaths. So if you'd like to keep working very actively, feel free to keep reaching that heart forward, reaching the toes towards the body. And other option is to soften just a little bit, just taking a little bit of the effort out of it. But again, trying not to just round here totally. Give yourself a little bit of support, a little bit of engagement, enough to hold the posture. Notice what the breath is like here. And find your way back up. I'm gonna grab the knees here and give your legs a little bit of help as you pull them back in. The feet are gonna come together and the knees are gonna come apart for Baddha Konasana. And just notice if you still want that support under the sits bones, keep it, or maybe you want to take it out for this posture. So as you push the feet together, you're pushing the knees down, and then the heart, you can reach it forward. You might have tighter hips and maybe your knees are up a little bit more, and you can also use those elbows to kind of help just push the knees down and just pull the heart forward a little bit. It's not important how far you go or how big of a posture you're into, but really just finding the sensation that's working for your body in this moment, for this class this morning, and just knowing that it might be different the next time you practice. And find your way back up. And readjust on your mat if you'd like. We're going to extend both legs. We're going to take a quick forward fold here, a quick Paschimottanasana. So the legs are going to be parallel. Pull the toes up and reach the heart forward. This is really just going to be used as a transition to our next posture. So take about 2 more breaths. And come back up. Take the left leg and step it over the right. So the left foot is to the outside of the right knee. And just making sure that both of your sits bones, those are the bones literally that you sit on, are nice and rooted. So if one side's up, find a way to make sure that both bones are nice and level. So you might want to walk the foot out, maybe over, or maybe you actually just keep that foot to the inside. So your choice. We're going to take a twist. So we're going to hug that left knee in as we lift the heart, and then start to twist towards that left knee. Feel free to kind of L hook it with that right arm and then reach that left arm behind you. You can also take another variation here. And then come back towards center. So we have an option here. You can just drop that top knee on top of the bottom as such, or you can also bend that bottom leg so you have Gomukhasana legs. For some of us, this top leg might be up a lot more, and that's totally fine. So let yourself just be with whatever works for your body. Intention with this posture is to just get into the hips a little bit. So feel free to sit upright and not come forward, or you can start to reach yourself forward. And this posture is much more passive, so you can feel free to just drop into it and let the head and the neck drop. You can also choose to hold support with the arms here. And just breathe. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Let the breath fall out the mouth. And gently find your way back up. We're going to extend both legs again. We're using this as our transition posture. Pull the toes up, reach the heart forward. Take a couple breaths here. And find your way back up. I'm going to take that right leg and step it over the left this time. Again, making sure that both sits bones are nice and rooted, and wherever that right foot lands, let it just find a spot that works best for your body. Try to get that big toe mound nice and rooted into the floor as well. Excuse me. So we're going to start to hug that right knee in as we lift the heart, and then we're going to start to twist to the right. So maybe you can hug that knee a little bit more as you twist. Maybe you hook it, reach that right arm behind you. We'll take any other variations here. One more breath. And find your way out. Again, option to just drop that top knee over the bottom so you can really bring the knee to knee, or you can even take a figure 4 here if your hips are really tight. And other option is to bend that bottom knee in so you're in Gomukhasana legs. Knees are kind of on top of each other. If you have open hips, that's great. If not, that top leg might still look like that bottom, or like it did in that last posture. So again, intention here is to just get into the hips. And find your way forward as it works for you. Take a nice deep breath in. Let the breath fall out the mouth. Start to find your way back up out of the posture. We're actually going to come onto our bellies. So if your knees are bent, you can just roll over the knees, straighten the legs, and find your way all the way to the belly. Otherwise, just find your way there how it works best for you. So lying flat on the belly. We're going to bring the heels together, the knees together, so walk the legs right close together. Bring the chin to the floor. And then reach the arms down alongside the body with the palms face down. And start to squeeze the shoulders together and lift the head and the neck up off the floor. Maybe the hands stay rooted into the floor here. You can also work with lifting the arms, lifting the legs, finding the posture that really is going to benefit you right now. We'll build into this, so any one of these work-ins is totally fine to be with as we move forward. And release to the floor. The head rests on either cheek. Arms and legs can do what feels right. And bring the chin back to the floor. Option to take that same exact posture or any variation of it that you just did. Or you can interlace the fingers behind the back and then start to lift both the upper body and the legs. Keep squeezing everything towards center. So knees, heels, ankles, shoulder blades squeeze towards center. And breathe. If you find that you lose your breath, come out of the posture a little bit so that you can find your way back into the breath again. And release. Let's bring the chin back to the floor. Again, taking either one of those previous postures if this next one is not going to suit you. Otherwise, we're going to bend the knees, grab the ankles. And again, any one of those backward bends is appropriate. If you have the ankles, start to kick into the hands. Let the legs lift the upper body. Let the legs do the work. Keep kind of squeezing the knees towards each other like you're going to hold a block or something. And release. Bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Again, make sure the heels and everything come together. Start to push into the hands, coming into a low cobra. So the elbows squeeze back, the shoulders roll back. Option to stay here for a few breaths. Or you can really build this posture, starting to come up into a high cobra, where the hips kind of stay on the floor, the hands can slide up a little bit. You can also build this into your upward dog. And you tuck the toes here so you can pitch yourself up and forward here. Knees come up, hips are off the floor, shoulders still squeeze together. Take one more breath wherever you are. Drop the knees. We're going to come back into the child's pose. Hips come back. Heart comes to the floor. Take your time if you need to. This is a big counter posture. So if you need to come out of it, take some movement, and then go back into it. Feel free to do that. Eventually, we'll all meet in the child's pose. Reach your arms overhead from your child's pose, and then just walk them to one side, so you're creating a side stretch from your child's pose. And walk the hands back through center, and then to the other side, creating a stretch on the other side. And come back to center. Going to come onto your hands and your knees. And again, we're going to come onto the back. So come to lie flat on the back with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. Reach down with the arms. So you're going to tuck the shoulders underneath the back. Reach down with the arms and walk the feet in just enough so you can just barely touch the heels. So if you can touch the heels, slide them away until you just barely can tell that they're there. And then root into the feet and lift the hips for a bridge. Option to interlace the fingers underneath the back here and roll the shoulders under a little bit. Let's lift one leg and bring it down, and lift the other leg and bring it down, and then release the hips to the floor. Take a nice deep breath and let it fall out. We're going to hug the knees into the chest. And roll to one side, roll all the way over. Set yourself up. And then take that top arm and then just reach it across all the way back behind you for a twist. So that might not be a lot. Maybe that arm has to stay bent or on the torso so that you don't have as much weight or tension or torque actually pulling that upper body open. But twist just enough to kind of release the spine, all the muscles along the spine. And see if you can soften just a little bit. See if you can let go of any tension that you're holding on to in this twist. And then find your way out of the twist, rolling back onto that side. And then come back onto the back. Hug the knees in. And then roll onto the other side, all the way onto the side. And then that top arm can reach up and over, finding that twist, or again, it can stay right on the torso, just if you need a more gentle twist. And see if you can let go of any tension or holding on this side. Taking a nice deep breath. And let it fall out. And find your way out of the twist. Come to lie flat on the back again. This time you can extend the legs. Find your way into Shavasana, corpse pose. You can take a pillow underneath the knees, any support, padding, layers, anything that you might need to let yourself drop and release into your final relaxation. When you finally get there, take a nice deep breath. Let it sigh out. And let go a little bit more. Drop a little bit deeper into the floor. Take another nice deep breath. Let it fall out. Feel free to stay here in your Shavasana as long as you'd like, taking your time to come out of it. I'm going to start moving us out of it, so if you need to stay or want to stay, then stay. Starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Hug the knees into the chest. Find your way to a seat. Feel free to prop yourself up. Close the eyes. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Let it fall out. And ask yourself, ask your body, what do I want to bring forward today? Is there something I'd like to do or say, or a certain way I'd like to be? hands to the heart or to the belly, and just take a moment to thank your body for sharing any wisdom, for supporting you in its practice, in your practice. And we'll close with a single Om. Inhaling together. Namaste. Thank you, and I will see you next time. I hope you're staying safe and healthy.